So a bunch of things happen at the State of the Union. Let's take a look at Bernie Sanders. We're not seeing him storm out of Congress, but just when he's already out of the halls of Congress or the gallery. We don't see him walk out of the speech itself, but we see him exiting, you know. Here's what, look.
Senator, can you tell us about it? Senator, can you tell us
why did you think the speech? What did you think of Trump's speech?
Mark's speech is going to be better.
He said his speech was going to be better. They said he called it full of lies, but I didn't see that part. So there he is, right? He's not storming outside the gallery, but just in the hall right there with the press line and the rope line. There was a bunch of things that happened. Apparently, according to Jasmine Crockett, there was Melanie Stansberry. She had a sign that was yanked out of her hands and was thrown on the floor. Melanie Stansberry's sign, you know what it said? It said, "This isn't normal." Take a listen to Jasmine Crockett explain the situation, because she walked out of the speech as well.
Felt really dirty, first of all. Yeah. But everything started off just all wrong, right? Like, I was sitting next to Melanie Stansberry, who was on the aisle, and Melanie literally had a sign that said, "This is not normal." And so she stood there as he walked in, and then a colleague from across the aisle decided to snatch her sign, throw it up, and ball it up and throw it on the floor. And Melanie's like, "Oh my gosh." And so, you know, she wasn't doing anything like what Marjorie does, ever, right? No hooping, no hollering, no none of that or whatever. And so, you know, she was like, "I'm ready to go." And it was before he began speaking, and I was like, "Girl, I am too." But we had an agreement because we wanted to walk out in a group. But then Al Green threw everything off, and Al Green went off on his own to do something different, and we had no idea. But I think that the people want to know that we are frustrated just like them. And we are. We're very frustrated. We're limited in our numbers, but we are not limited in heart. So just know, like, we are here to fight. But we need you. We need you to make sure that you're paying attention at all the elections, the city elections, the county elections.
So there you go. And then not only did they take Melanie Stansberry's sign, they yanked it out of her hands and threw it on the floor. I mean, this is civility. This is how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to act. If we all represent, you know, the fairness, right? If we're not going to be hypocrites, then we're not going to be contumely. We're not going to be saying a bunch of fighting words. We're not going to show hatred or contempt. You can disagree with the person's opinion, but to, like, hate the person itself, to hate their soul, you know, in terms of, you know, debate, it's better to hate the person's soul, right? Because it's not just the person that's saying we need health care for all. Well, clearly that person's soul is awful. No, I would say actually the person who cares about health care has soul. Mehdi Hassan is going to point out how Donald had called the Democrats as radical left lunatics. I watched a little bit of the speech afterwards. I didn't really care to watch any of it at all, because, I mean, he's going to lie, he's going to say a bunch of lies, and then he's going to be a fucking dickhead, right? So who could just stand there while he's sitting there going on and insulting, you know, the American people, the people of Gaza, everybody. So I couldn't find where he said lunatics, but Al Green had mentioned that he had called the Democrats lunatics. Mehdi Hassan is sitting there saying that Donald Trump is calling the Democrats lunatics. And then right here, it says Trump wants to clean the justice system that was turned upside down by radical left lunatics. So maybe that was the part of the speech where he was talking about Kash Patel. So I'm not sure where it was, but just a lot of craziness, you know, with the Democrats. They were wearing pink. They had signs, you know. A lot of their little protest was pretty civil. It was pretty civil. And so you know, for people to get all pissed off, Al Green kind of accepted his punishment. Even during his censure, he voted present, which really the censure only, you know, lost by like 12 votes. So his Democratic colleagues actually, you know, kind of stood up for him even when he wasn't really standing up for himself. So he's saying we need to go back to the 60s. We need to use the tactics of the 60s because that's the day and age, that's the era, that's the culture that we're in right now.
Elections, the state elections, because those are the people that are going to push back against this administration. And listen, we're only 3 seats away from taking the House. And if I have my way, we'll take it before the 2-year mark. We've got 3 special elections that are coming up, 2 in Florida and 1 in New York. And I know a lot of people want to say, there's no way, Rep, there's no way. Listen, there's no way if we don't try. But we know that it was a special election that brought us Doug from Alabama to the Senate, a Democrat. We know it was special elections that got us 2 Democrats out of Georgia to the Senate. Listen, when we unite, we can get it done. And listen, the facts are on our side. The things that we're fighting for, they're not just for Democrats, they're for everybody. So if we want to protect veterans, if we want to protect farmers, if we want to protect hospitals, then it all starts with making sure that we can have real conversations about those things. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's not about rural versus urban. What it's about is whether or not we are going to be the united or divided states of America.
The divided snakes of embarrassment. So there was also, let's see, Jasmine Crockett walks out, Maxwell Frost, and Melanie Stansberry. Jasmine Crockett actually has been on fire. I've seen a bunch of clips of Jasmine Crockett. Is this her saying something?
No, these are our seats. We earned these seats. So we occupied those seats as long as we wanted to, and then we got out, okay? Because we are going to fight him tooth and nail. We are going to combat all the lies, and we are going to continue to serve the people that even went out and elected him to their own dismay.
So, no kings live here. That's what the back of Maxwell Frost's shirt says. And then some of the people had signs that said, Save Medicaid. There are moments of good trouble during Trump's speech. First when Al Green refused to sit, and then some Democrats walked. John Lewis would be proud. That's absolute. Martin Luther King would be proud. Let's see here. Do I want to listen to more?
We don't sit for that shit. We wouldn't. You know, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't. You know, we showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams. He's hearing all kinds. Why we fighting with Greenland? Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up, because I'm ready to get on with it. Guys, this is not what we...
I'm ready to get on with it. So I'll just end on this little iconic photo right here. What an awesome, very cool photo. Awesome on Al Green. Al Green is a bad ass. We need more badass Democrats like Al Green, because if we don't have badass Democrats like Al Green, well, neoliberalism is out. The Democrats have to re-embrace the working class. The Democrats need to stand up against genocide, imperialism, war. They need to start giving a damn about the poor and the homeless. They need to give a shit, especially universal health care. Fucking shit. Talk about some obvious shit. All of Europe could have universal health care, but we're not able to do it. Even Otto von Bismarck had universal health care, back in the 1880s? Supposed to guarantee life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Health is life. Without health, you don't have life.